Ooh, wait, that's like really smoothing, isn't it? What? Oh my. Wait, why do I like this so much? Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be just using some new makeup that I personally bought. I receive a lot of makeup in like PR, which is wonderful, but there's a special excitement around receiving packages of makeup that I personally ordered because I've spent a lot of time figuring out like what I would want to pick up. And as you guys know, the Sephora sale was recently going on, so I did pick up a couple things from Sephora, but actually there's a couple of other things from other websites that I also recently picked up, and they arrived at the same time. So naturally, I really just want to try all these things, and I figured it'd be kind of fun for you guys to maybe see what I bought and how I feel about them based off my first impressions. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm actually gonna prep the lips first. This is a new item from KKW Beauty. It's the Glossy Lip Balm. Now, I'd be lying if I said I haven't already put this on my lips, because that's another thing about me when I like buy makeup. When it comes in the mail, unlike PR where I set it aside and usually save all the first impressions for videos, when I buy something myself, I usually either swatch it on my hand or apply it. And so I've already put this on. I haven't worn it for like a long time though, but so far I really like the texture. And actually, the first thing I noticed about this, hopefully you can see that, but the applicator is actually curved so nicely, so it really hugs the lips. It's a little bit of a thicker formula. It's extremely glossy, but it's not sticky, which I really like. So yeah, I'm just gonna prep the lips with this. I might also just use this at the end as well. That's so nice as is. I could see myself using this as is all over the lips, like at the end of my makeup routine too. Oh, it's kind of sticking together, hang on. I think I applied too much. There we go. But I could see myself kind of wearing this at the end of my routine as well on more of like a no makeup day. All right, the next product that I bought is this right here. It's the Monika Blunder Beauty Blunder Cover All-in-One Concealer and Foundation product. I have been eyeing this since it launched, but I own so many foundations that I just didn't take the leap and pick it up. But now that it's been out for a while, I keep seeing celebrity makeup artists that I follow and a lot of other people review this product and say they really like it. So I finally caved and picked it up. I have the shade 2 Zwei, and I did swatch this on my face to see if the shade would work. I think it will, but I haven't put this all over my face yet, so I'm excited to try this out. So basically it's like a balmy kind of a foundation, which after trying the Kat Von D foundation, which is kind of more of like a balm, I'm really intrigued by this type of a formula. So I'm just dipping my IT Cosmetics brush into the pan directly. Let's do one half of the face first to just see how it works. I'm just gonna start sweeping this all over the skin. Oh wow, I think that shade works perfectly. Which I already prepped the skin before sitting down. I didn't use like a primer or anything, but I just barely did my skincare, so my base is nice and hydrated. Wow, the coverage is actually beautiful on that. But it still looks really natural in my opinion as well. So I'm just gonna continue to kind of blend that out all over the face, and then I'm gonna take my sponge and just press it into the skin. I watched a video of Monika Blunder use this foundation, and she actually applied it with her fingers first, then a brush, then patted it in with a sponge, but I just went straight in with a brush, and now the sponge is kind of helping get rid of any brush lines. If you don't know who Monika Blunder is, she is a celebrity makeup artist, and I actually discovered her through YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, which I will have linked down below. And yeah, I've been following her for a long time, so I'm excited to finally be trying out her foundation. As you can see, that looks really nice and skin-like. With the amount of coverage that I applied, it looks very natural. Obviously, it cancels out a lot of the redness that I have on my cheeks, but it still looks like my skin. And the thing with this foundation too is it's buildable. It's called the 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, so you can use it as a concealer as well, which is what I'm gonna do next. So I'm gonna flip over my brush, dip into the same product as a concealer, and when I see her do tutorials on this, she usually uses a couple of different shades. Like she'll use a lighter shade under the eyes. I obviously don't have a second shade because I wanted to make sure I like the formula before going and buying another shade of this. Because this foundation is like a little bit of an investment. Okay, after I've applied that with the brush, I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of press that in under the eyes. And I do feel like it added a really nice amount of coverage. If I just add a little bit more, it builds up really nicely. I just decided I'm going to use my sponge to blend it out instead to save time. And then this is where I can, of course, use a little more to spot conceal any areas that I want continued coverage. This looks super fresh on the skin. Wow, I really like that a lot. And you can see the finish looks very natural as well. It's basically the same as this side that has nothing but skincare. It just looks really nice and healthy on that side. Fun. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on this side of the face to even things out. And if you're wondering, in comparison to the Kat Von D foundation, this one definitely has a lot less coverage. It's a little bit more of a dewy finish upon application. I should say that it has a lot less coverage initially. You can obviously build it up to a pretty high coverage, where the Kat Von D one is pretty full coverage right off the bat. Also, this one I feel like you can really apply it with a brush and you won't go overboard, where I found with the KVD foundation that a sponge is best to not overdo it. I'll have to wear them side by side sometime so I can really see if they even compare to each other, but just in case anybody was wondering the difference, that's what I'm noticing right now anyway. I'm just going to apply a little bit more underneath the eyes to conceal. I really like how natural that looks. I'm excited to see how it wears. I'm not going to be doing a wear test in today's video because I'm filming this a lot later in the day, so I just don't have the time to do a proper wear test, but I'll be sure to leave a quick note in the description box because I will be wearing this for at least a few hours. It's not going to be a super solid wear test, but I will definitely update you. So if you want to see a little bit about how it wears for a couple hours at least, check the description box. Wow, I feel so fresh with like the lip balm and then that foundation. I would feel comfortable going out with brows and then just this, honestly. But we've got a lot more to try. So before I powder the under eyes, I'm going to quickly just cream contour using my Danessa Myricks Balm Tour. I always forget what this is called and it doesn't have the name of the product on here. But this is in the shade Light 1. And I'm just going to start warming things up with this. I've also seen Monika Blunder use that foundation to contour as well. Like you can buy it in a couple of shades deeper than your skin tone and then use it for contour. But again, I only wanted to pick up one shade to start just to make sure I even liked it. I'm just gently taking that on the sides of the nose, under the chin, and along the jawline as well. I love the tone and undertone of this product. I think it's so beautiful. This is where I like to go back in with the foundation brush that I used and just go along the edges of a cream contour. That way everything blends together super seamlessly. And along the jawline especially, I find that if you use the foundation brush and whatever's left on the brush, it kind of blends that a little bit lighter so you're not left with like an actual stripe along the jawline, but it is subtly contoured. And then lastly, I'm just gonna press everything back into the skin with my sponge. So I actually bought a cream blush from the Sephora sale, and it's this one right here. It's from the brand Say. It's their Dew Blush, and I bought the shade Peachy. I told you guys this was on my wish list when I did my Sephora recommendations. But since everything is cream right now, I really do want to apply this now and then just kind of powder just the T-zone. So yeah, here we go. Here's the bottle. Here's the color. I'm very, very excited about this color. Let me show you the applicator too. How cute is this? It's a really nice wide doe foot applicator. I don't always go in directly into the cheek because I just don't want to risk it, especially when it's a formula that I'm not super familiar with yet. So I'm just popping it on the back of my hand to start, and I'm going to kind of warm it up on the back of my hand first, and then I'm going to smile and start to apply this to the apples of the cheeks. Ooh, that's such a pretty color. I'm switching fingers just so that it's not adding more product, so I can kind of blend the edges. This was the lightest shade in the range, so I was expecting this to be a lot more of like a subtle blush. You guys know how much I love blush already, but this is definitely going to be one that looks a little bit more natural since it is that nice light peach color. Ooh, wow, that's so pretty. And it seems to be blending on top of the other products really well. It's got a nice luminosity to it. I really like that. I definitely didn't use nearly as much as I thought I would. Maybe I'll just add a little bit more because I don't want to waste it. But that's good to know. A little bit does go a very long way with this. I'm blending it up and out toward the temples as well. I find that that's going to make things look really cute and sun-kissed. I'm also going to take a little across the nose maybe, just to use up a bit more of that which that actually looks really cute across the nose too, because sometimes, you know, with that like blush across the nose trend, if you use something that's a little too intense, I find that it can look not as natural, but with this color being a lot more subtle, I feel like it works. I'm just taking my sponge as always, just to make sure the edges are super blended. Well, I feel very, very fresh. I'm obviously very dewy. So we are now gonna take some powder, which I bought this from Sephora as well. This was 100% inspired by Kellyanne, who is Makeup by KA over on Instagram. I'll have her Instagram down below. I love following her. She deserves millions of followers, so be sure to check her out on Instagram because I just know she will one day be a very famous makeup artist, so we can all say we knew her when, you know what I mean? But she was raving about this powder, saying she uses it on her clients, and she said specifically the shade Cupcake, so I bought the shade Cupcake, which is like a lighter pinky peach kind of a color, so it's supposed to be good for brightening. My brows are driving me crazy. I know I'm gonna fill them in a second, but I'm just gonna brush them up so I feel a little better about myself right now. Anyway, I'm gonna start with a little bit of this on just a small fluffy brush. I'm gonna tap off the excess, and let's see. I'm just gonna take my finger and gently pat out any of the concealer that creased. And then I'm just gonna press this underneath the eye area to set. Okay, wow. It's actually really, really nice. It has a little bit of a fragrance to it, which I'm usually pretty sensitive to, but hopefully it's not one that lingers. I'm also gonna press this over the areas where I have the largest pores, which is right here next to my nose. I'm gonna set the creases of the nose as well, since that's where my makeup tends to break up. Smile lines and the chin. Wait, that's like really smoothing, isn't it? What? And I haven't even pressed the sponge over top yet, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Oh my. Wait, that's really, really pretty. So extremely smoothing, but it doesn't feel heavy under the eyes. Okay. Same thing on this side. And I think that this powder, since it's called the Easy Bake Powder, I think it's kind of designed to bake with. I don't usually bake when it comes to powders. This is kind of my version of baking, like taking a powder with a brush and kind of pressing it into the skin. I don't necessarily use like excess powder though to bake. Maybe I'll try that though with this powder when I do more of like a glam look. But for now, I feel like this is a fitting method to use for this style of makeup. I also always like to go on the tip of my nose because I don't want that to be oily throughout the day and it tends to get oily. So I'm just gonna powder that really quick as well. And you may have already seen me powder through the brows and on the forehead. I am gonna leave like the sides of the face because I really do like that gleaming kind of a balmy glow that we have going on. But I am gonna go back in with my sponge on the other side of my face and on my nose and on my forehead to really make sure there's zero powdery finish, which that powder looks so smooth. Wow, okay. I really like that based off my first impressions, if you can't tell. While we're here, I'm just gonna pat out any concealer that got in the eye creases, and I'm going to just set that with a powder too. Well, I am excited about that powder. I've actually heard really good things about this Easy Bake powder for, gosh, it's been probably years now, and I just never picked it up. So I'm really happy that I have this. I'm excited to keep using it. Okay, I also bought this right here. This is not a new product by any means. This is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Medium Brown. The reason I picked this up is because I am planning on doing some bridal tutorials coming up, and I really wanted to find a brow powder that would be really long wearing because brow powders are just a little bit more soft when it comes to filling in the brows. And this is like an iconic brow powder. Every time I see a makeup artist filling in the brows with a powder, it's usually this duo, and there's like a pro palette that they all have. So I really wanted to try this out for myself. I'm gonna start off by dipping into the darker shade actually, because I personally like to fill in the outer parts of my brow first. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the outer portion. And the reason why I'm kind of intrigued by a duo is because I feel like two colors really does make the brows look super natural. I'm just flipping over my brush and brushing that through. I'm gonna do the other side with the dark part first, and then we'll fill in the center portion with that lighter tone. Don't you just love makeup? Like truly, I never ever get sick and tired of makeup. Do I sometimes get overwhelmed with the frequency of launches? Yes, but I'm never like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored of makeup, you know? It always fascinates me, it always inspires me. I can't tell you how many times I'll randomly text my husband and I'll just say like, I love makeup, and he'll just be like, I'm so glad. But I truly feel so blessed that I get to do this every day for a job because I feel like I would be doing this every day anyway, whether I filmed it or not. Okay, I really like how that looks. Let's dip into the other side, which is the slightly lighter color. I'm gonna gently fill in the center of the brow with this. Okay, I'm just gonna brush through the front of the brows now. Okay, I actually really like how that looks. I love that you have those two shades that work well together in one pan. Obviously, this is just a first impression, so I'm going to be testing that out quite a bit over the next few days, especially in preparation for my bridal tutorials to make sure it lasts, because that's the most important when it comes to wedding makeup is like things staying on your face all day long. So now we are going to move into something else that I feel like most people weren't so excited about, but I personally was sold by this. And this is actually why I placed an order on KKW Beauty recently, and that's why I also threw in this glossy lip balm because it launched at the same time. But this is the eye contour duo set. So they launched like 3 different shades of eye contours, which look like this. So the set came with a brush and the little palette. You can buy them both separately, but I of course wanted to try both. But basically they're little eyeshadow duos and they're meant to be great for just every day, for a really quick eye look to just kind of add shape back into your eyes, and I was sold. I watched the tutorial that Kim Kardashian did using this, and she explained that when she usually uses like bronzer on the eyes, which you guys know I'm a fan of, usually bronzer is a little more warm tone than the actual contour color of your eye. So these are slightly more cool toned. There's 2 different colors, and I'm just gonna copy what she did. So this is the shade Light. So there's shade Light 1 and Light 2. Here's the double-sided brush. I'm gonna start off with the lighter shade. I'm really interested to see how this works because, of course, I probably could recreate this with eyeshadows that I already own, but maybe not, I don't know. So I'm just gonna do this color, this first shade, all over the eyes kind of as a base. I don't know, I was just intrigued by this because I'm all about products that save time when it comes to like an everyday routine. So I'm super interested to see how this works. I'm then gonna flip over the brush and dip it into the same shade and just quickly run that underneath the lower lash line. So there we go. We have a nice subtle base that's just kind of adding a little tiny bit of definition. But now the contour part is the second shade. So I'm just gonna take the same brush and dip into the shade Light 2. I'm tapping off the excess, and I'm gonna start working this in the crease as well to actually start contouring the eye. And I'm actually gonna apply a little bit on the outer corner as well to add some definition and depth there. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Wait, why do I like this so much? I feel like it's obviously a very simple and subtle type of eyeshadow situation, but honestly, truly, for a quick, really simple eye look that's going to flatter your skin tone really quickly, like without even thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna flip the brush over and do the same thing along the lower lash line. Personally, you guys, I think that that looks really, really nice. The thing is, for me, sometimes as well, when I'm trying to do more of a like soft, subtle eye look, I'm going back into the lighter shade, by the way, just to blend out the tops. But sometimes what happens to me is it's like a little too dark. So this is something where, because the shades are perfectly crafted from light, medium to deep, you can literally just like throw on the shades and blend them out really quick, and it just looks really flattering. It's just the right amount of definition. It's not too over the top. Could you recreate this with what you have at home? Probably, but I'm not about to go grab like 15 palettes on an everyday basis. So that's what this is about for me. The convenience too. I don't know. This lived up to my expectations so far, at least. I really like that. Let's add mascara. I feel like mascara is going to really change the game here. So I've been testing this out quite a bit. I really like it so far. I love to give mascaras a good amount of time before actually saying like go out and buy it, but I really do like this one. This is from Lancome. It's the Lash Idol. I like the brush, the little curved brush. It makes it super easy to apply. But yeah, in her tutorial using the eye contour duo, she just put on the eyeshadow and then had pretty bold lashes. So naturally, that's kind of what I want to recreate. Yeah, I feel like mascara always completes the look. But I love that. It's so subtle. It's like an eyeshadow look. To me, it made a difference kind of shaping out the eye, but it's not a smoky eye. It's not overpowering. I'm really into it. Plus it's all matte, so that makes it great for every day. It's not gonna be too fancy looking either. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take that darker shade and the small brush and like further contour the crease of my eye by making it a little more precise there. Yeah, I really like that. It's definitely a subtle change from what I have currently, but I do think it kind of helps emphasize that contoured effect. Okay, I'm just gonna blot off the lip balm. I feel like that really softened and prepped my lips. I might add that back in because I bought a lip liner and I'm not sure if I want to put like a lipstick on top of it. I might use this as my lip liner. I mean my lipstick. I might use it all over the lips as a lipstick. This is from Melt. I bought this during the Sephora sale as well. This is the All Day Everyday Lip Liner in the shade Nudist. I am obsessed with the shade Foxy in the same formula. This one is supposed to be a little bit lighter and a little bit more on like the pinky mauve side. So I'm very excited to see how this looks. I'm gonna go ahead and line the lips. Oh my gosh, it's literally my lip color. My lips have a little bit of like a mauve undertone to them, so this blends in perfectly. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna shape the top lip using this. And then I am gonna fill in the lips. And since my lips are so hydrated from the balm, it's really blending over top of everything nicely. Wow, that color is so pretty. I already know I'm gonna love the formula on this too, since again, I already own the shade Foxy in it. I really do feel like I'm gonna just add more of that glossy balm from KKW Beauty, just to give my lips a bit more of a glossy finish. I'm gonna try not to overdo it this time. So I'm just using my fingers to pat that in. Okay, so now that everything's on the face, I'm taking my powder brush and just gently tapping over top of the balm contour because I do want to add a little bit of warmth. And I wanted to use my Milani Baked bronzer for this in the shade 09 Dolce. I just want a little bit of like a glow and a little more warmth to match the eyes a bit more. So I'm just gonna take this on a fluffy brush and just add this to the cheeks. Yeah, see, I feel like that really connects the colors in the eyes a little bit better. I'm gonna put this on the forehead as well. So you know me, I think I need more blush. I'm gonna take a little bit more. I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of put that on the back of my hands because I'm still too scared to like apply it directly to the face. But I'm just gonna put a little more right here on the apples of the cheeks. So I feel like sometimes after I powder, it can kind of take away some of the color of the blush if I use a cream blush first. I was going to use a highlight, but I feel like all the cream products gave my skin a really nice glow, so I'm not going to. I'm also not going to use a setting spray. I'm just gonna make sure that the sides of my nose are powdered and the center of my forehead are powdered, just using what's left on the brush. Because I do still want to do a mini wear test, like just on my own today. Again, you can check the description box for notes. So I'm just going to do the last step, which is to set my brows. I'm going to be using my trusty Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I can't live without a brow gel, and I especially feel like when you use a brow powder to fill, since it is a bit softer, using a clear brow gel to like shape and break up the brow hairs kind of brings back some of that definition that's lost, but you still get that softness underneath. I really like the contrast. Well, I feel like I may have low-key discovered my new everyday makeup routine. I mean, it might be too premature since this is like my first time using these on my face, but if all goes well, if that foundation wears well, I really feel like this could be something that I'm reaching for a lot. This as in this routine, the whole routine. I really enjoyed every single thing that I tried today. This lip combo, it's so simple because it's just a lip liner and a lip balm, but like it makes such an impact. Same with the eyes. It's so simple, and I feel like I need to dust off those mascara marks as I'm seeing them. But yeah, it's so simple, but somehow still makes an impact. You look put together, but it's not over the top. I really like the brow powder. Fingers crossed that wears well. The blush is perfect for every day, especially if you're like short on time. At least for me personally, this shade is light enough to where I can really just kind of slap it on and press it in, and you can't really mess this up either. I feel like I found a lot of foolproof things. Also, the powder looks so natural and smooth under the eyes. It's not feeling or looking dry, but you can obviously tell that it's keeping my oils at bay. Guys, I don't know. I feel like I really lucked out on this one because usually when I buy products, there's usually a couple things that I'm like, oh man, this didn't really live up to my expectations, but not today. These all exceeded my expectations, which make me really excited for the future and being able to use all of these things again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about the things I tried. Let me know what you think about this eye contour duo. Does it look as good as I think it looks? Are you guys into those types of products the way I am? I would love to know. I'd also love to know what you thought about the other products I tried, and if you own them, if you guys enjoy how they wear, please let me know in the comments. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did. I feel like I found some incredible products today. I hope you guys have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!